Hello everyone, welcome to my presentation. I am dealing with the subject Power Plant Engineering. In that topic is Power Plant Economy. The outline of my presentation is Power Plant Economy. Power Plant Economy. The main purpose of the design and operation of the plant is to being the cost energy produced to be minimum. The effective utilization of the resources and minimization of the losses in order to increase the profit of the power crops is the main purpose of the power plant economy. For the installation of the power plant, the following requirements should be there. First one, selection of power plant, location of the plant, building layout, selection of prime mover, selection of operating conditions, cost, selection units. In that, selection of power plant. This type of power plant to be installed depending upon the energy sources. A hydropower power plant should be installed where sufficient head of water is available, whereas steam power plant is installed near to the coal mines. A nuclear power plant is to be installed near a source of the water, for example, lakes, rivers, etc. Diesel power plant is preferred for smaller loads. Further choice about the number of generating units should be made. For example, if a steam power plant of 200 megawatts capacity is to be installed, then it is to be decided whether a single boiler will be supplying steam to a steam turbine or there will be a 2 units each of 100 megawatts capacity. Each unit in a single boiler capacity supplies to a single turbine is preferable. The priority of considerable which choosing the type of generation are as follows. Type of fuel available, type of load to be supplied, reliability of the operation, cost of the land, cost of the fuel transportation, availability of the cooling water, cost of power transmission. And second one is the location of the plant. It should be installed near the load centers so that the cost for the transmitted power is to be reduced. It should be nearer to the source of the fuel and sufficient amount of the water should be available near the power stations. The soil should be such that the special and costly foundation is not required. The plant site should be considerably by road and railways so that the transportation of the requirement is very easy. Next is the building layout. The power plant building layout should be simple, rugged, and should have pleasing appearance. The size, arrangement, and shape of the power plant depends upon the type of power plant. The roofs are made usually flat. The roof deck can be carried on reinforced concrete slabs and beams. The floors are to be made upon concrete tiles. Concrete floors are preferred. The structure should be fireproof. While laying out the various equipment, allowance should be left for future expansion. The room of the building should be spacious, uncrowdable, well lighted and clean. Next is the selection of the prime mover. Depending upon the load and type of power station, the selection of steam turbine, hydraulic turbine, boiler, diesel engines, gas turbine should be made. The units installed should have the capacity more than the peak load and some provisioning must be made for the future accepted load. For example, the peak load of one city is 360 megawatts. The 2 watts units is 200 megawatts should be keeping in further use. And selection of the operating conditions. The power plant should be supply the various power demand. To supply various power, the supply of the fuel, air, water, etc. should be varied accordingly. In order to keep the power plant efficient, the older and inefficient units should be replaced by new and efficient plants. Next is the cost. The cost of power plant consists of fixed cost, operating cost, depreciation charges. Cost of the power station should be kept as low as possible. And selection site. The generating unit should fulfill the following considerations. The number of units selected should be too many, but they not be less than 2. The units selected should be capable to supply the maximum load. A reserve unit should be installed to supply the load if there is a breakdown of highest capacity. The unit should operate at high load factors and should have efficiency, and their cost should be minimum. So these factors to be considered. For the power plant economics, the interest for the power plant economics, the cost analysis of capital cost, operating cost, and fixed cost. In capital cost or fixed cost, the initial cost of the plant is which includes land cost, building cost, equipment cost, installation cost, and overhead charges. For an operational cost, the elements should be make up operating expenditure of the power plant includes cost of fuels, labor cost, cost of maintenance and repairs, cost of stores, supervision, and taxes. And in the fixed cost or capital cost, the cost analysis of the power plant includes fixed cost and running cost. In fixed cost, the land, building, and equipment cost are included. Cost of the land and building will depend upon the location of the plant. If the plant is situated near the cities, the land will be costlier than the cases it is located away from the cities. The cost of the equipment or the plant investment cost is usually expressed in the basis of kilowatt capacity installed. And next one is the interest. All the entrepreneurs needed investment of money, and this money must be obtained as loan through bonds and shares or from owners of the personal funds. The interest on the capital investment must be considered because otherwise if the same amount was not invested in power plant, it would have earned an annual interest. A suitable rate of interest must be considered in the capital invested. And next one is the depreciation cost. Depreciation accounts for the depletion of the equipment and decreases in its value due to corrosion, weathering, and wear and tear with use. It also covers the decreases in the value of the equipment due to obligations. It is required to replace the generating plant machinery after this expiry of useful life. Therefore, a certain amount is kept aside every year from an income of the plant to enable the replacement of the plant at the end of its useful life. This amount is called as depreciation amount. The following methods are used to calculate the depreciation amounts: straight line method, shrinking curve method, and dimension value method. Let P is equal to initial cost of the plant, S is equal to salvage value at the end of the plant life, N is equal to plant life in years, R is equal to annual rate of interest on the invested capital, A is equal to the amount to be kept aside as per the years as depreciation amount. In that, first method is straight line method. According to the straight line method, the amount of to be set aside is calculated using the formula A is equal to P minus S by N. In this method, the amount set aside per year as depreciation fund does not depend on the interest it may draw. The money earned by the depreciation amount is taken as an income. And next is sinking fund method. In this method, the amount set aside as per the year considerations of annual installation and the interest earned on all installations. And next one is diminishing value method. In this method, the determination is the value of the equipment from year to year is taken into the account and the amount of the depreciation calculated by the annual residue of each year in this residues of the successive years. Insurance. The cost of the equipment and the building cost must be insurable for the fire risk, riots, etc. A fixed sum is set considered as per the year insurance discharge. The insurance charges depends upon the initial cost of the plant and insurance coverage. Next one is the management cost. This includes the salary of the management, security and administrative staff, etc. Working of the plant. This includes paid whether the plant is working or not. Therefore, this is included in the fixed charges of the plant. Operational cost. In the operational cost, the cost of the fuels is taken as an example. In a thermal power station, the fuel is the heaviest item of operating cost. The selection of the fuel and the maximum economy is in the use and therefore very important consideration in the thermal plant design. It is desirable to achieve the highest thermal efficiency for the plant so that the fuel discharges are reduced. The cost of the fuel includes not only the price at the site of the purchase but the transportation and handling cost also. In the hydropower plant, the absence of the fuel factors is the cost in the responsible of lowering the cost. The cost of the fuels varies from one plant to another plant, depends upon varying price of the fuel, amount of the energy produced and efficiency of the plant. In that labor cost. For the plant operation, labor cost is another item of operating cost. Maximum labor is needed in the thermal power plant using coal as a fuel. A hydraulic power plant or a diesel power plant is equal to the capacity required as lesser number of the person. In case of the automation power plants, the cost of the labor is reduced to a great extent. However, labor cost cannot be completely eliminated even with fully automated stations. Still, they require some manpower for the periodic investigations, etc. Cost of maintenance and repairs. In order to avoid plant breakdown, maintenance is necessary. The maintenance includes periodic cleaning, greasing, adjustments and overhauling of the equipment. The material used for maintenance is also charged under this head. Sometimes an arbitrary percentage is assumed as maintenance cost. A good plan of maintenance would keep the sets in dependable conditions and avoid the necessity of too many standby plants, repairs and necessity when the plant breaks down or stops due to the faults developing the mechanisms. Next is cost of the stores. The items stored of the consumable stores other than the fuel includes such articles such as lubricating oil, greases, cotton waste, small tools, chemical paints and other such things. The incidence of this cost is also higher in thermal stations than the hydropower station. Next one is the supervisor. In this plant, the salary of the supervising staff is included. A good supervisor is reflected in lesser breakdowns and extended plant life. The supervising staff includes the station superintendent, sub, chief in charge, chemist, engineers, supervisors, stores in charge, purchase officers and other establishments. Again, thermal power stations